welcome to this week's video. I have not filmed a single thing this week to do with my weekly vlog because I've been poorly and I didn't want to miss an upload, so I thought I would do a little reading update slash what is on my current TBR. I have had an incredible reading month so far. I have read exclusively only fantasy romance this month and I'm on to book 8 of the month and it's the 16th of May. Can we believe that? Last month, after my little juice cleanse of cowboy romances, I am on it with the fantasy romance. I am obsessed. I'm reading all the ones that I've kind of put off and ones that I've had on my Kindle or had on my bookshelf for ages. If you can hear banging, there is work going on outside. That's another reason why I haven't filmed, but we're just going to need to deal with it because this is my life currently. So this is what I've been reading in May. Books you will already know that I read from my previous videos are Bride by Ali Hazelwood and Powerful by Lauren Roberts. I won't go into too much detail, but Bride, you guys were hiding that one from me. That was very entertaining. I was very entertained. Was it my favourite book that I've read so far this month? No. Did I have a great time? Absolutely. Powerful broke my heart into a million pieces and I was not expecting it to break my heart. Well, I was half expecting it to break my heart, but I really wasn't expecting it because I kind of know what was going to happen. So if you haven't read Powerless by Lauren Roberts, read that and then read Powerful. Trust me, you will be done for. I also got my first fantasy arc this month and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't read too much into the description, I just went straight into it. I like to go into most of my books blind, but an arc, I was like, yeah, just send me it then, that sounds amazing. And it did not disappoint. It definitely was a world building book as a first one of a series, but wow, I was very invested in the story. I really liked the main character. The story kind of gave me similar vibes to Assassin's Blade. Not the actual story, not the plot, not anything about the story really, but the format that it was split into 3 parts and the 3 parts were kind of short stories. Well, I was reading it that way anyway, and it kind of led us to where we need to be to continue the series. It follows a girl who is a thief in this town and she owes money to the thief gang lord person. I don't know how to describe that better. So she goes to a ball, she takes the identity of someone that was going to this ball, a royal ball. She ends up going in there, meeting the prince and also meeting some very dodgy characters. And it all goes from there. Next I moved on to The Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee and oh my goodness, that one was so good. In hindsight, when I'm looking back on it, not a lot happened. Again, it was probably a world building book, but it gave me everything that I wanted. It was tension to the max. It follows a princess who has ran away from her life and she's been living in poverty, and she basically gets arrested by the King's Guard and she ends up meeting part of the rebellion who rebel against her father, and she, as protection, put a rebellion mark on her body so they think that she's part of them. But then the male main character finds out that it was a forgery and he doesn't trust her, and the tension between those two is incredible. We got spice, we got tension, we got some training sequences, but other than that, not a lot came on and throughout the middle of the book, and then by the end we got a real cliffhanger, and I'm so gutted that I don't have the next book to go straight onto. The next book that I went on to was When the Moon Hatched, and I've had this downloaded for so long and it did not disappoint. It was everything that I wanted in a fantasy book. It is probably the best fantasy book that I have read since Throne of Glass. And that is a huge huge achievement. The detail, it was so intricate. The story was so well thought out. Everything down to every little detail was incredible. And I recommend going into this completely blind. All I will tell you is there's dragons, enemies to lovers, hidden identity. So I just want you to go into that completely blind because it was perfection. There's an entire glossary at the start of the book telling you what everything is because the world that she has created is completely unique. And I have never ever came across anything quite as magical as this world since Throne of Glass. So well done. Well done, Sarah. Next, I read The Dracula Duet by Karina Halley, or Hale, however you pronounce her second name. Wow. Wow. These vampires were insatiable. Insatiable. If you don't like spice, you will not like these books. But there was so much spice. The plot, I believe, came kind of secondary to the romance and the spice. But you know what, it was still a great time. I binged the 2 books in 2 days. I don't normally do that, but I just ate it up. It was a great decision on my part to just jump into some spice after When the Moon Hatched because it was an excellent time. It follows a witch who has been sent by her coven or her guild, I think it was called, and she's meant to assassinate Dracula. He's not called Dracula, he's called Valtu, but he is the vampire that inspired the Dracula story. Well, he is in this book. He is just something else. The whole story is something else. I think in the second book, we kind of lost a bit of his personality for decent reasons at the start, but sometimes like I didn't like his personality was like not fully matching up to what I'd seen before, but still an excellent time. The plot, fine. The spice and romance, loved it. I am now currently reading The Crimson Moth. I believe it's called Heartless Hunter in some countries for some reason, but wow. I am not even, I'm maybe like 4 chapters in and I am invested. It's a witch and witch hunter kind of story, and I go into everything blind, as I've said before, so I am not entirely sure what's going to happen, but so far it's kind of giving dark Bridgerton society vibes, but with the whole witches and witch hunters. Now on to books that I have on my immediate TBR. The first one being Heir of Broken Fate. I was in between starting Crimson Moth or Heir of Broken Fate. Heir of Broken Fate is by Madge Rafferty. She is a fellow TikTok girly. If you haven't looked at her channel, you should go check her out. She's so cute. And she wrote this book and everyone says it gives similar vibes to ACOTAR, but if not better. And I heard it's got mermaids, griffins, dragons, enemies to lovers, all that jazz. I've also downloaded a book called Wings So Wicked by Emily Blackwood, and I believe that this is a vampire romance again. Again, don't know too much about it. I saw a couple things on TikTok and Instagram and I was like, that seems like a bit of me. I also have A Dawn of Onyx. That is the same as When the Moon Hatched, not the story, but it's been on my Kindle for a very long time and I need to get to it. Again, it's another fantasy romance and it has dragons in it. I'm on my dragon hype at the moment, so I do really want to get to that one. I do also want to get to Crescent City. I just don't know if I'm going to like it as much as I liked ACOTAR and Throne of Glass. Well, I know I'm not going to like anything more than I liked Throne of Glass, so that's a given. But they're so big as well. And I don't know if I am ready to commit because I feel like I want to just read them one after the other. I have the third one downloaded on my Kindle already and I don't even know if I'm going to like them. But they are so pretty and I don't know whether to read them on holiday, but I feel like if I read them on holiday I will get through like 100 pages and I won't get through anything else. I need to take easy books on my holiday. So that is everything that I have been reading recently and what I am looking forward to start reading. Please tell me what you are reading and what you're excited to read in the comments because I'm always on the lookout for new books. Doesn't matter if it's fantasy romance, dark romance, anything. I want to hear what you're reading. I hope you don't mind that I didn't have a weekly vlog this week. Just nothing was happening. There was nothing to show. So I am just happy to have this little book chat with you all, and I will see you in the next video.